Hello, beautiful beings, and welcome back to another episode of the Color With Me podcast or Color Therapy podcast, where I encourage you to please pause this video, get yourself some paper, pens, pencils, pencil crayons, anything, any type of art medium, and please sit down and join me while I discuss today's topic. You may be wondering why I am wearing this. And this was my costume, my character for our new skit that Jayse and I are doing on the Divine Sovereign Beings Instagram and Facebook page. If you aren't following that, I'd highly recommend, because we just did skit number 2 because the first one we did was so epic. And I'm just going to stand up for the YouTube real quick and show them. So this is the Divine Sovereign Beings shirt that I just recently made for myself. I don't know if I showed you. I don't remember. There's also a You Are Art shirt that I showed in the last episode that's here. It's available if anyone would like it. You just have to contact me in any way, honestly. But you can go to the Divine Sovereign Beings, any of the pages. You can do contact at divinesovereignbeings.com to email us. There's comment under this video, I'll get a hold of you. Like, there's whatever. If this is your shirt, let me know. And there's going to be many more who are going to join me, and until we go to some other festival and give them all out again, and we'll make a bunch more. But let us know if there's any festivals that I need to know about that are in New Mexico, Arizona, Colorado, Texas. I feel like that's a good a good distance for us, not too far, but new areas we haven't been and light worked in yet. So that brings me to my next topic. So we did our sketch. Oh my gosh, there's the sun. That's so trippy. The timing. The sketch that we did was super fun. The first one blew up. It was about Area 51. And we made a funny sketch, and then a news anchor basically made the same sketch, very similar, and it was on TV, and now it's going viral, so it's kind of funny. And so we did a follow-up, and we're going to keep making these little sketches together because we love making our friends and family laugh, and it's a new, was something we haven't done together before, but it was super fun, and Apollo enjoys it. He was a little late on his cue on this one, honestly. It's because I wasn't running. It was because Jayse was running. When Mom's running, it's way more interesting for him, and he wants to just bite me all over. It's too much fun for him. But anyways, so it was fun. We were having fun. Today's episode is actually dedicated to somebody who pledged to me on Patreon. They chose the 11/11 Lightworker support pledge, which is $11.11, for people who are aware of the fact that we have dedicated our lives to light work, to our mission, to bringing light, to bringing healing, and there's so many things we're bringing that we're not even really aware of, but we're working on it. And there's many people out there who are doing that. And to have this type of support, because we have full on jumped in. Like, we didn't go, oh, maybe I'll keep my job, or oh, maybe this. We literally were like, Spirit's going to take over. We are in service, and it's going to be good. And so we jumped, and here we are. Like, this is what we're doing now. And it's awesome. And I'm very joyful to be doing this type of work, to make people laugh, and so on. So this episode is dedicated to you, Laura P. Thank you so much for your support, and I'm going to be making this picture for you today, and with dedicated to you. And we're gonna talk about light work, I think, and whatever else comes to mind. Oh, there is another thing. As many of you know, this is a Schumann Resonance blog as well, and today, September 20th, you're seeing this a day later, September 20th, at around midnight, like pretty early, we had a huge Schumann resonance blast come in, and it really affected, that's not the color I want. It really affected a lot of people, and it's 9/19 was the day before that, which is said to be a portal, and I honestly couldn't agree more with that. I'm like getting ideas as I'm like, does this ever happen to you? Where you like switch your marker like 6 times before you even start? Yeah, so we had the 919 portal, and things are changing. People are making changes in their lives, and it's beautiful because that's what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be jumping through those portals, and we're making changes, and the energy today totally supports people making changes in their life, truly. And so uh, it could be your time to be a light worker, and here you go. But yes, so the Schumann resonance actually hit a 99 according to the Russian charts that I look at, an amplitude of 99 for the note of 7.83 hertz, and that is supposed to be the main note, the first note of the Schumann resonance of our planet. And it resonated out for about 7 hours until 7 in the morning around, mountain time. I'm in the United States. I'm in New Mexico, and so we're on mountain time, which is universal time -6 for anyone listening to this. I just figured that out the other day. I'm getting better at this. And so, yeah, that rang out. And honestly, it felt like I was up late. I was cleaning, organizing, and life was good. I then went to bed right as it began, and I had great dreams, decent dreams, quite vivid. I was fairly active in the dream time, like making decisions and participating and enjoying and remembering what was going on. So that was really beautiful. And I'm excited to hear what a lot of other people have gone through during just this portal, because we're also going into the equinox, which means that the winter is becoming summer and summer is becoming winter on this world. Oh no, there goes the shirt. And the equinox, the last few years, like since I've been watching, like classically gets a huge Schumann resonance blast on the charts, and I was seeing lots of other ascension bloggers talking about this, and I'm seeing so many people talking about this now. So it's super rad to be in a community now that's paying attention, because the more people whose eyes and intuitions are like directed towards this phenomena, I feel like it's going to make me feel better, and a lot of other people, because we're bringing in the answers, we're bringing in clarity. Some people say it's like 5D energy. Some people say that it's, diamond crystalline, all this cool stuff. And I don't see those things generally. Like sometimes it'll come on really strong and I'll be like, I feel like it's Syrian energy, or, something like that. But for this particular blast, to me, it was the equinox blast. And there is so much more to that. And I know that. And it's very mysterious in a lot of ways also, because I'm truly fascinated why the Earth's ionosphere does that pulse around the equinox time. Like the equinox is not supposed to be until Monday, September 23rd at 12:50 a.m. Mountain Time. For those of you who didn't read my post today, that is the details, or yesterday I should say. But yeah, there is going to be an equinox shift, but it hasn't technically happened yet. So, and that's what I noticed the last few years also. Like, I'm going to be honest, it wasn't directly on the day. It was always around the time. And if you scroll through my, Instagram feed or the Facebook feed, Facebook's a little harder, I'm sure, to like kind of backtrack, but I'm sure you'll find other equinox posts that I've made in other years, and I've said similar stuff. But it's good. There's mysteries afoot. I'm sure there's an atmospheric scientist out there who actually could have a slightly better clue, and I'm sure that it has something to do with magnetics, because I've had multiple times like people helping me out, and even in my dreams, and it's like magnetics, and I'm just like, okay, I have a psych degree, like I don't know as much about magnetics as the average person who, atmospheric scientists and so on. So I'm trying to figure it out. And hopefully we'll get some more answers every year. We're going to figure out more and more. And then this is obvious evidence to me that there is a portal going on as well, because when this much stuff is shifting, the magnetics are shifting. That's how they say portals and stuff open, is shifts in the magnetics, and they're like little wormholes of magnetic holes and stuff. And that's what like the Bermuda Triangle is. Everywhere that they go, that they have these sacred sites. This is a weird angle, but sacred sites, they're always checking out magnetics and stuff, and things are always wacky. And I don't even know as much about it as I honestly could after, the content I'm adjusted. Not a lot of it sticks all the time. That's okay. I'm learning too. We're learning as a group. And so it's we're going to find out what this gateway really means to a lot of people. My dear friend who I dedicated one of the first episodes to, she just basically was like, I'm firing myself and I'm becoming a divine sovereign being again, and I'm not working for money as much. Like, I'm not going to do the obligated sessions with people just because they pay me. And I find that that's another thing that like light workers who do healing modalities, they kind of get stuck in, because they know their job is to be a healer and they're here to help people and heal people. But then they kind of get stuck in the old paradigm again. And because it's easy, because again, we're trying to earn money, we're still buying groceries, so currency is still a thing. And in the old ways of currency exchange is kind of these expectations that no matter what, you're getting the product at the time, at the place. And with a human being who has developed their empathic and psychic powers, who are become more sensitive to stimuli that they're around, because they're using that gift to help other people pick up things that they are having a hard time discerning or figuring out themselves. It's hard for these people to live within time. It's hard for these people to deliver, especially to the types of people who need that level of help sometimes. It takes a lot out of somebody. And that's what I'm learning right now too with my own like energies, is that, I've done a lot of sacrificing in a way for my light work. And of course there is a level of benevolence there that, I've had help benevolently. I've had people cancel. I've had things cancel because I just, I knew deep down that I didn't have the energy to do it. And then all of a sudden it's not happening. Somebody misses their appointment. Time zones are getting mixed up, whatever. And I know, oops, okay, so I'm pushing myself too hard. And you're pushing yourself too hard because you're freaking tired. You're not looking forward to this session as much. I hate to say it, but I feel like this is so true for so many people. And so these people who have these gifts and are, especially the young ones, I'm finding, because these people aren't even done yet, like most of us, we aren't even fully actualized yet. We're just a couple years into our healing practices and whatever. There's a lot more coming for us, and it proves itself time and time again that there's more coming for us. And we learn more, and we give more, and the things that we have to continue to develop are here because the world is continuing to develop, and our mission is not over yet. Our mission just keeps expanding with the portals and with the shifts on a worldwide thing that are happening based off of the timing of the universe. Like, we're not even 100% sure when this stuff is going to happen sometimes. A lot of us do have an idea because we can feel it coming. And then we're dealing with it at the same time. All the other light workers are going through a similar thing. But like I said, it's a complex job. It's a complex duty that a lot of us carry out, and we try our best, and we also don't want to be slaves. That's the whole point. We are not interested in being slaves. We're here to be of service. There's a huge difference between those two things. We are choosing to use our energy and our free will and our time for the service of humanity. And, we're allowed to do that whenever and however we like, as long as it's full of kindness. And so I just wanted to voice that out there. And thank you all on Instagram for joining me. Those of you light workers out there, I really appreciate you and all the work you do. And you aren't a slave, okay? Don't get mixed up in that. There's going to be a way we can balance it, and a lot of us are trying to figure it out. So I think that's what this portal sort of brought, this energy, and I'm happy to share it with you. And I'll be seeing you again very soon. And it's just wild to me. I just said goodbye to the people on Instagram, by the way, in case you were like, what was that? I film on 2 different cameras and I upload some to Instagram because Instagram's one of my biggest lightworker family. It seems like Facebook is popping for sure, and I have a lot of people who are like older friends from near like the beginning of this transition. But since I've kind of come into my own, I've really met more people who are like super badass, and they're doing their light work by giving things away on social media, like their write-ups and their artwork and their insights and the information that they're gathering and they're downloading. And it's a very big free platform for light workers, I've noticed, and we're a really tight, supportive community. I don't even think I've ever seen any beef between people in my community at all on Instagram. On Facebook, on the other hand, seems like it's a whole other story, and it could be just because of the type of energy that Facebook has. It's a lot older, carries more of our older selves. A lot of other timelines where you see your statuses from freaking elementary school, or not elementary school. Some of us maybe, I don't know, but I should say junior high and high school. At least that's how far back Facebook goes for me. And it's like a whole other angry, snide, like I was saying yesterday or on the last video, I have this like dry sense of humor that I was kind of was definitely sarcastic, and it still is like that sometimes. It totally is, but I've definitely tried to morph it into something a little bit more receptive and so on. So yes, Instagram's what's up. And if you don't have me on Instagram, please consider joining. If you don't want to join Instagram at all, totally fine by me. But if you're like lonely and you want a community, definitely a good place to look. And it's full of light workers, and I swear there's people everywhere making content and doing awesome stuff. And when I consider light work is so much more than creating light and then having it beam into this camera right here and then get replayed and beam it to your eyeballs. I'm talking about one-on-one being present with people, and literally the light that you have in your body, in your system, in your aura, in your field, in your DNA is transferred and passed around and equalized with the people around you. And sometimes it makes a drastic difference in other people's lives. Like, you don't even know all the people who are going to be hiking at that location or in that mall or in that place that you're doing intentional work with is huge. And that's truly what I'm passionate about, is like going to the places that I'm called, holding space, protecting it from being exploited, because a lot of these like natural places are also, the military is also well aware of them and they have control over them. And most of these places have indigenous background, people who, didn't live in the current system but had more of a spiritual outlook on things, praised this land, and they're all pushed out. And there's like hours of operation for all these places. There's gates, there's cameras. It's just ridiculous to me. And that's the kind of light work that I work on too. Jayce's light work is definitely more one-on-one work. I love working with people, but I find that my light work is actually listening to people and observing shifts in the energy field in the group, and actually kind of protecting the light work that's happening with my energy field, and kind of making it's hard to explain, but I kind of can feel when things are coming in to disrupt the healing that's about to happen in the group. And this happens all the time, and it makes me believe more and more in entity attachments, and also like shadow selves and entities that you can't see, because I can feel something is coming, or I can feel it in somebody it represents and comes into other people's fields and their bodies. And they'll like walk up to the group as soon as something really, really good is happening, and they'll try and interrupt it with their own, their own story, their own ego, their own energy, and they'll totally interrupt it. And you're like, who even is this guy? Like, I've done that so many times. I'm like, excuse me, like, but what's your name? Like, who even are you? Because at festivals and stuff, people will do that. They'll like slink right in. And it's like, no, man, like, this is sacred space. You can't just sneak up on people unannounced. Like, I feel like that's just a respectful thing to do. Especially when we're obviously having a very in-depth conversation about something and somebody's either emotional, like, I've seen it all. And I'm here as a light worker in that way to hold that space and protect other people and protect spaces for people to get that healing, to get that release, to get that recognition for the traumas that they have. And they're finally in a place where they're being activated, usually by us, like literally the people we talk to. We have this effect on them where it will open up their field, and finally something that's been kind of nagging at them, or a topic they maybe never even really talked about in their life, will come up, and they'll just start talking about it, and they'll be releasing, and they'll be owning it, and it'll be part of their identity. It'll be a part of their childhood. It'll be something that needs to be heard, and it finally gets to be heard. And it's a beautiful thing, and I've done it. I can't even tell you how many times this has happened now, and I've been so grateful to hold that space and allow that release and protect it. Because for some reason, there seems to be some type of thrill out of letting people suffer and suffer and suffer and suffer over the same thing, or let something that's been stuck in their field never get worked out because this thing will keep poking them. And yeah, that's the passion that I have about light work. And these are the physical, tangible things that I do. And not just me, obviously Jayse is a major part of it. He is my partner, and he's my partner on many ways and for many reasons. And it's because of the work we're able to do together. And I truly, truly enjoy it. And to know, like, how many people tell me have written books about star seeds and, crystal children and rainbow children and indigo children, and there's this new wave of children coming and we need to support them because they're here to change the world. Okay, I can tell you there's probably like most of the major authors in the Ascension community since I was born and before have been talking about that. They've been talking and talking and talking, writing books, talking about it, but they get distracted because people are worried about their own thing. And some people do take initiative, and they have kids, and they freaking go out in the woods and they feed them only fruit, and they get them, like, their superpowers activated and try and support what they're bringing in. There's like all of these childhood entrepreneurs who are doing all this crazy charity work. It happens for sure. But there's a lot of kids out there who have been born in the waves that were predicted, in the years that were predicted. And a lot of them, were the 90s. And it just keeps coming. They keep predicting more and more powerful waves. And it feels like these kids are kind of just getting left behind by the lightworker community in a lot of ways. And I could be totally wrong, but compared to what I think is possible to support these types of people with the amount of resources and things that the older lightworker generations have gathered, it's hard sometimes to watch, because we can tell that they've been traumatized to a point where they feel scared to make these risks and to do the mission that they literally came here to do. They came here to get the resources, do their light work, and prepare the next wave. And I feel that inside of myself as well. And I feel like I'm being prepared for the next wave of children. I've had multiple people come up to me and say, you're going to be working with the children. And I'm like, yeah, okay, well, I hope so. I hope there's a facility somewhere where I could do that, because I'm literally still scrambling as the crystal child myself, or the rainbow child, or the indigo child, as I don't want to name it because I know it's something. I've been told enough times. But whatever I am, and the type of support I'm supposed to have at this time, it's just like, I feel like there's other timelines out there where there was more support for people to be more prepared, and but that's okay, because we're working on it. And I'm not calling anybody out. I'm just saying that that's why I have the Lightworker Support Fund, because there are people out there who do get the downloads, who do understand. They see the kids who are doing stuff. Like, I consider myself a kid compared to the large majority of the lightworker community. I find are in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. They're quite up there in age. And, they've had years and years and years of accumulating stuff, and doing their own light work, and they've been doing a great job. And things are changing now, and there's been forces working against it, and, we truly understand. But it's nice to see that people who do see that in myself, and I surely can see it in other children. And I tackle that thought all the time. It's like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to be the one to be supportive? I tried to go and be an educator after my psych degree, actually. I tried to get an education degree because I was like, okay, these kids are coming. They're already here. I've met a bunch of them. I worked at a summer school for a few years, and I was like, yep, these kids are totally different. Like, I could totally feel it. I could feel it in their bodies and their chemistry and in their sparkliness and their laughter, like, and their with itness. Like, they're so with it. And I was like, man, these kids know what's up. I'm going to go be an educator, and I'm going to try and activate these little star seeds from the inside. And you know what? I honestly just couldn't go through with it. Like, after my psych degree, I went back to school like half a semester later after working in a restaurant, and I went in there, and it was horrible. And the amount of time that I was away from that facility, I had grown so much, my vibration, that I couldn't even be there. All I could see was Loosh and this darkness and this suffering being sucked out of the students, and like how the mazes of the school and the whatever was being blown through the vents, even, it seemed like, was meant to like harvest people's misery. And I was like drinking and smoking almost every single day, and I was doing terrible on my assignments, like just terrible. I had just freaking gotten a degree. I had gotten my GPA up, at least a decent amount compared to when I began, because that was really hard too. It was starting your degree. Oh my God, it was nuts. To really kind of force yourself into the way that they want things is nuts. But to do it again, I just couldn't do it. And I felt so terrible. I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Like, how am I not going to be able to support these kids? And I was like, I can't even support myself. I'm unraveling. And as a crystal child or whatever I am myself, it was just my time to activate. And I couldn't really pull through the way I thought would be the most effective, but I had faith that it would come back around. I would figure out a way to support the kids. There's kids everywhere. There's lots of outlets for that, and I tried many times, and many jobs and stuff. I applied for jobs, and anyways, this video is getting kind of long. I'm loving this picture I'm drawing for Laura. And I just want to say, yeah, I've gone through it. I've gone through the light worker thing, the activation thing, the realizing I am myself, some type of wave of children that came in, and now I'm like 25, and I had to basically dig myself out, and I don't want other kids to have to do that. I mean, perhaps that's part of my soul karma and was good for me, and I chose this path. No doubt about that at all. But I feel like I'm looking at a timeline where that's not going to be necessary for other kids and things like that. I could be totally wrong, but I'm optimistic about it. I feel like things are going to change, and I'm, going to have a role in it also. And so people who support the light work that I am doing now are much appreciated, and I feel like you are the people that I was expecting to, become across to help me. And it's so easy to help, and I can't wait to continue helping more people. And the help and support I've gotten has gotten me this far, and I'm so grateful. And more support to the children. I'm going to keep encouraging that, and I don't know how, but I am. And I go to festivals. I go and hang out with other people's children, people who are, children that never really got the chance to be children because of the school system and the college system and everything. It takes away your inner child. And I work with people's inner children all the time. It's like I'm always making people laugh and whatnot. So that's why the sketches have been fun. And this has been a good journey so far. And the more funds we can raise for that, the better. And it's just, really kind of other people to really consider doing that for me and for my family. It's just very nice. And your energy is totally going towards healing other people and towards healing myself from, the healing I did on my own, as much as I freaking could. And I definitely need to rebuild some strength from that. And oh, does it feel good to like be able to know you can eat 3 meals a day again and like sleep. Well, I guess, the sleeping thing has always been pretty good. I've been blessed about that. But to so many things, like, and it just keeps getting better and better. Everyone's generosity has been so incredible. And so it's not impossible. If you're a light worker and you want to go out there, there's plenty of people out there who are going to help you no matter what. You just have to stay passionate and true to your conviction and show up and have integrity and stay consistent. Just like the earth sign, the king of earth and the queen of earth, they just keep going. They just keep plowing. And their patience, their patience and determination in their craft and in their, what they want to do, it pays off. As long as it's for the good of humanity and you truly keep checking in on that and your ego on that too, then I think it's going to work out for you. I have this funny feeling because it definitely did for me. And the odds, were kind of crazy. So it's awesome. You can do it. That's what life's all about anyways, right? So this is the beautiful picture. It's over. I love you all very, very much. I hope to see your pictures. Please send them to me. Please, please, please send them to me. You can send them to me on ascensiondiaries@gmail.com. Send them to me on Instagram, Ascension Diaries, Facebook, Ascension Diaries, the Ascension Diaries group on Facebook. We're kind of spread out, but also we're not. We're a pretty collected group. And we got our stuff figured out. So let's share our beautiful artwork. And I'll be seeing you all again very soon. Please like, subscribe, share. And I love you. I love you. I love you. Kiss your pets and your family for me. Okay. Bye.